Mach7 podcast. Welcome. Take a seat. Take a load off. We have some great post-Thanksgiving stories for you, I'm sure. Do we? No?
Ish.
Travis says no.
No.
Okay, there you go.
Is that my intro?
No.
Oh.
I got one planned. Don't worry.
Good.
It's
Good,
coming.
Good.
My name is Andrew. I'm 6 foot 9 feet. Why do I always say that? I always say 6 foot,
feet,
9
foot.
foot. Yeah. I'm 6 foot 9 inches tall, and you can't teach that. My co-host this week is Travis.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I am not 6 foot and 9 feet tall.
No, he thinks that goats are male sheep, and you can't teach that. So, Travis, how you doing?
After you just said that, I'm a little pissed, but,
hey.
I'm doing good.
Don't say stupid stuff, and I want to
No,
make
it's a
fun of you
real
for it.
thing.
It's not a real thing. We're not getting into the discussion again, but it's not a real thing. So,
Anyway, so we just got back from Thanksgiving break.
we did. Good times.
How was yours?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Do you have any stories for us?
I do have one story,
Oh, good.
sort of. Kind of two. Only really like two major things happened. The rest of the week I was just like sitting at home, doing nothing, eating food that I didn't have to pay for, which was fantastic.
That must be nice.
Yeah, it was pretty great. So, the week before Thanksgiving break, my dad texted me and was like, "Hey, you want to go to the Lions game on Thanksgiving?"
What?
And I'm like, "Yes, absolutely." So, yeah, we went and did that.
How was it?
Oh, it was fantastic. The Lions won 34-17,
They sure did.
which was
Against
great.
the Bears?
Yeah. Stupid Bears. Let's see what else.
They got mauled.
I see what you did there. Because,
Lions
yeah.
against the Bears.
Because they both maul things, usually. Huh.
Unless
That's
it's
clever.
a happy berry bear, which then just eats happy berries.
Do you think that sentence has ever been uttered before in the history
Happy
of
berry bear?
forever?
Eating happy berries? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
All the time.
So the tickets that we got were first row right behind the end zone. And it was pretty...
Is that nice?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, when they're on the other side of the field, it's kind of like I can't see what's happening at all, especially since I have like the worst vision ever.
You do have glasses as thick as
Yeah.
window glass.
Yeah, no, it's bad. But all but like one of the scoring plays were on the end zone that we were at, so
This is pretty great, actually.
yeah, no, this is fantastic. I'm leaving all
These
this
are all the
in.
people who are watching us right now. This is
Yeah.
a live podcast in front of a bunch of people. Can you just like cut that out from earlier and just like expand it through the whole thing so it sounds like people are
I probably could, yeah. If I wanted it to sound terrible, I could do that.
or at least like just for the intro where it sounds like there's a bunch of people who will just go quiet, quiet, quiet.
Yeah,
Instead of go quiet.
good plan.
Okay.
Trying to record a podcast in here. Silence, please.
Episode 23.
Yeah?
Is it 23?
No, it's 22.
22. I was close.
Or is it 20? I don't remember.
I was close.
Are we good yet? Or
I don't know. You said I had to wait.
Yeah, you did have to wait.
You're obviously the ambassador.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
You were talking about being a jackass and going to a Lions game.
I mean, it's not really my fault.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You clearly had you could have clearly said no.
I could have, but what would that accomplish?
I wouldn't have been so mad at you right now.
Oh,
I'm
well.
so jelly.
Too bad. Oh, so
'Cause I want to tell you about my Thanksgiving comparatively.
Okay.
But go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so all but one of the scoring plays from both teams were at the end zone that
Yeah.
we were sitting at, so that was pretty cool.
That's good then.
Yeah. I don't think we got on TV though.
You weren't on the kiss cam?
No. It's unfortunate. So yeah, it was cool.
That sounds
I enjoyed
awesome. Any other cool stories from break?
The only other thing I did was let me ask you if this is weird.
Okay.
So, my mom's sister, like almost everything.
Your aunt?
Yeah, my aunt. But I just want to say from my mom's side,
Okay.
that part's important. Almost every Thanksgiving they'll do some sort of family get-together thing.
Oh wait, you're down in Louisiana. Oh no, you will be
No, I
during
will be.
Christmas break.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's the bells. The best part of every podcast. Everyone looks forward to the bells. All the comments are raving about them.
Mm-hmm. All those.
Yeah, all 0 of them.
All them.
All right. So my mom's sister does this thing for Thanksgiving almost every year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, though, since my mom is in Louisiana, she wasn't able to come back up for Thanksgiving, so my mom's sister still invites myself and my dad to go downstate to her house to have this Thanksgiving thing. Is that weird considering that my parents are divorced?
No. If they if it was a happy divorce,
Yeah, which it was.
then I don't think that's weird. 'Cause I mean,
Okay.
you can still be family friends.
Yeah.
Now, if it was just you, your dad, and your aunt, that would be a little
That'd be a little bizarre.
That'd be quite weird.
Yeah.
But who was there? You haven't told us who was there.
I mean, it was them. It was my grandma was there.
Okay, so there's other people.
Yeah,
Those-
my sister's.
They're buffers.
Or my sister's brother. My mom's brother was there, and then my aunt's kids were all there too.
She probably wanted you to be a part of it, and
Yeah.
And if it was a good, happy divorce, then
Yeah.
okay.
I just thought it was weird because, my parents have since they've gotten divorced, they've you wouldn't even notice unless somebody told you.
Really?
Because yeah, they've gone on vacations together with myself and my sister, and they do family stuff together all the time.
Wow.
It's really bizarre situation.
That's actually really neat.
Yeah, but I was curious if people thought that was weird that my dad would go to my mom's side of Thanksgiving stuff.
Only if it was just her. And she was wearing something skanky.
Yeah. Well, that would be weird.
That would be weird in that case.
Would not want any part of that. Yeah, nothing really interesting happened there, other than the adults all got into this big conversation about Ferguson, and I was like, guys, please stop.
Ooh.
I don't like
that
what
just happened over Christmas. Thanksgiving break, didn't it?
Yeah. Again.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad. So
yeah,
anyway.
there's still stuff going on about it.
Yeah, no, it's
And
never,
we're not going to talk
it's
about that on the
never
podcast.
ending.
This is a happy podcast.
Yeah.
It's not, this is,
We
except,
think,
except for the puppies.
right.
It's not a happy podcast for them.
We think happy thoughts here on the Mach7 podcast. So
Unless Andrew gets a little pissy at something I say.
yeah, well, don't say stupid stuff.
Goats are a real thing.
I'm not denying that
Yes,
they're a real
you are.
thing. I'm denying that they're male sheep.
We're not talking about it.
So dumb.
So, would you like me to tell you?
I would love for you to talk about what you did over Thanksgiving break.
I spent Sunday through Wednesday worshiping the porcelain god.
Okay. Oh. Oh. That's.
I had the stomach flu
That sounds
for
terrible.
4 days.
Are you still contagious, or
That was a week ago.
you never know?
Achoo.
All right.
No, I'm not contagious
Okay.
anymore. And not only that, but I had the worst back pain for the whole month of October.
Right.
And I think
Talk
it was
about that a little bit.
Yeah, I did talk about that last time. And so I had that, and my stomach was just awful, and it was one of the worst breaks ever. But what made it worse was that Thanksgiving, I live in western Michigan of the Lower Peninsula. Our Thanksgiving this year was at my sister, who lives in Detroit, which is on the east side of the state.
Right.
And so Wednesday night, I'm like, I can't go. I mean, no, it wasn't Wednesday. It was Tuesday night, because I was going to go Tuesday night, I'm sorry. We're going to go Wednesday afternoon, stay the night, and then leave in the morning to go to my girlfriend's Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I can't do it. I couldn't do the motion. I tried to drive home. Oh, which reminded me. So I was at my girlfriend's Sunday to Sunday night, and then Monday she had to go to work. And I was like, I'm just going to go home because I'm not going to be at your mom's house by myself all day. I'll go home, and we asked for nausea medicine, that type of stuff. So I go there, and I don't have a house key on me ever.
Sure.
I don't need to. I'm up here.
Yeah.
And we have a spare key outside of the house, always. I drove home just after I thrown up, so that way, because you're relieved of that pain
Yeah.
for a good half an hour.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
This is my window. I can drive. So I grab my dog. I pack everything. I quick
Sweet
hurry
spot.
up. Yes. So I quick drive home. There's no key.
Well, are you sure it wasn't just buried? Oh,
No.
you guys probably didn't have a lot of snow, so.
No, it was not where it was supposed to be.
Oh.
And so I called my dad because my mom was taking my niece and nephew who had stayed the weekend. She was taking them to go see my sister. To go bring them back because my sister went to Chicago. So she was gone halfway to Detroit, just left, like a half an hour down the road.
Okay.
And then my dad is working, who was a truck driver. He was in Hudsonville, and I called my dad, and I was like, hey, where's the house key? He goes, it's in the house.
What? Why would it ever be inside
I'm like,
the
why
house?
is it in the house? He's like, well, I had the keys in the truck one morning, and after I was going to work, and the door was already locked behind me. Instead of pulling the keys out of the truck, he just went grab the spare key, and then went in there and dropped the key on the table,
right,
and didn't put back out.
Right.
I spent the next hour and a half sick to my stomach inside my vehicle, waiting for my mom to return. And that doesn't sound that bad.
I can imagine that'd be pretty bad. If you're
Plus, my dog doesn't like when the vehicles stop and
Yeah.
he's inside it, so he's whining the whole entire time, going back and forth, making the vehicle rock.
Oh God.
I was near tears.
Like, I feel like if you're having like an upset stomach and your back is hurting, then being inside the car is the absolute worst place to be. It'd be so uncomfortable.
So that happened, and so I'm sick. And then Wednesday, I decided I'm not going to Thanksgiving. Tuesday I felt fine. Wednesday I came back, and then so I slept it off. By Thursday morning, I was feeling fine, and my girlfriend was like, hey, it'd mean a lot to me if we still went to my father's Thanksgiving. Her and I have been dating for 3 years.
Okay.
I've met her
years.
father once.
Really?
He is a very special individual.
Huh. Special how?
So he has 4 kids.
Okay.
Who, my girlfriend and her siblings.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend being the youngest. And then there was a divorce. And now he is remarried, and he has adopted 2, and a third one's being shipped over right now from China, ironically.
Is that real? Is that how they do it? They ship them over?
You just go to AmazonBaby.com
Right.
and just...
I'm totally putting AmazonBaby.com in the link dump, just so you guys can see what that is.
And so he is more attached to those adopted children than he is to the other children. It's a big, huge deal.
Right.
So it creates a lot of tension. So that's why I never see him.
Makes sense now. I get it.
And the new wife hates all the kids from the previous marriage.
Of course she does. Why wouldn't she?
So that's why we never see that side of the family.
Right.
It's just way too much animosity between the groups. And so I was like, okay, great. I just got over the stomach flu, and now I get to go over to the crazy families.
It'd be even more uncomfortable.
So, I was uncomfortable, but I was like, whatever, the Lions are playing today. I'm going to go get some nice food. What's the worst that could happen? I'll just shut up and I'll just watch the Lions after I eat. Just fine. So we get there, and immediately when we get there, there's a door. There's a sign on the door that says, please wash your hands right away. Keep our babies healthy.
Oh, God.
I'm like, you know what? There's so much wrong with that, but okay, whatever.
You know what would keep them healthier? Exposing them to all the germs so
Thank
they
you.
can build their immune system up.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I take my coat off and boots and everything. I walk in, and as soon as I walk in, her dad's like, wash your hands right now.
Jesus.
I'm like, I've seen you guys. This is the second time I've seen you. And I said, hey, how's it going? Wash your hands right now.
It's so messed up.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I go wash my hands. And then I walk out with my girlfriend from washing our hands. And so there's this big, huge, long double table. And there's all these chairs around it with all these plates and everything like that.
God.
You know where I sit?
Right next to
No.
girlfriend's dad? No?
I sit in the kitchen, those little islands that people have nowadays.
Yeah.
I sat there on a bar stool.
Were you the only one there?
No, I had my
On the
girlfriend there. It
island?
was the
Okay.
2 of us. But here we are, facing away. They didn't even have the decency to put the plates towards the tables.
Jesus.
They had the plates so that we're facing away from the family. I'm like, this is fantastic.
It's so messed up.
It gets better.
Okay. I like this story.
So Thanksgiving is a time for good food, right?
Usually. Was it
I
just
would have
the
been
worst food ever?
happier if I had gas station candy bars and
Jesus.
bags of chips.
Wow.
So, how do you normally have potatoes, like mashed potatoes?
I don't eat potatoes.
Okay, well, a normal person who likes potatoes, they like the mashed potatoes where, like if they make them handmade, they'll boil the potatoes and then they'll mash them, but they'll also put like milk in to whip them up.
Yeah.
Then add a little butter and salt and pepper, right?
Sure.
The potatoes that we had were just mashed potatoes, and then you slop them on.
Like they weren't cooked at all?
No, they were cooked. Just... No, they were cooked, but there was no milk added, there was no butter, there was no salt, no pepper. That was the theme of the whole entire table.
Just
there was corn that was just like
salt and pepper.
No, there's no salt and pepper.
Oh,
there you had
push it. Right.
There was like corn that was just like there was more water in the bowl than there was corn.
Jesus.
And there was no salt or pepper. There was nothing there. There were this cauliflower casserole, which it included cauliflower and water.
Delicious.
With a burnt top.
So good.
There was sweet potatoes, which sweet potatoes normally have like brown sugar and marshmallows. These were just yams out of the can that were put into a bowl.
This sounds like the greatest Thanksgiving ever.
There were Brussels sprouts. And then the turkey was so dry, I would have had jerky that has been more tender. And then we had nice skim milk to drink.
Oh, delicious.
So I choked down as much as I could. I mean, it was bad. Very bad. And so after I finished my meal, I'm like, okay, at least I have the Lions, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I finished my meal. I wait for everybody to finish. All the kids are bringing their plates back. I was like, hey, is it okay if I go, go sit down on the couch? I didn't say turn on the TV. I wasn't going to turn on. That's the host's job.
Right.
Is to turn on the game, which should be on no matter whether we're eating or not.
Yeah. It should be on already.
Exactly. So I missed the first half.
Okay.
Because when I asked, can I go sit down on the couch because my back is in pain.
Right. From sitting on a bar stool.
Whatever. Her quick response was, no, you're going to sit right here right now. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Because, she's all tension with her. She wants everything to be perfect.
Of course.
And so I was like, okay. So, this was just at the beginning of the football game. I'm looking at updates on my phone. The family is having a great conversation over here.
Yeah.
I'm over here on my phone. And Shelby's over here, trying to make conversation with people, and it just isn't going well.
Sounded like quite a mess.
And so then finally I get to go, I just get up and walk away. I'm tired of this.
Take the initiative. I like it.
So I went and I sat on the couch with her nephew, who absolutely loves me. And, he loves the football. He's like, hey, you want to go watch the game? And I'm like,
absolutely.
He's 10 years old, and he actually understands, and her father doesn't. So he turns on the game, and it's, just after the first half. And he's playing his game on his phone. And then soon he starts talking to one of the Chinese daughters. And they start talking because they're playing the Minecraft mobile on their phone.
Okay.
So they went to a corner and started playing. So I had the couch to myself.
Nice.
Everybody else is at the table looking at photo albums, doing family type stuff. I'm the only one watching football in the living room. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I'm behaving. So I decide for my back, I am going to lay down. I'm tired because I haven't slept all night. I'm hurt. I'm going to go lay down. I got chastised so hard because she came over, sat down. She goes, you go sit up right now. I'm like, what? And she goes, sit up right now. And I'm like, okay. So needless to say, this was the best Thanksgiving ever.
Sounds like it. It sounds great.
So, and then after that, we went Black Friday shopping.
Oh, nice.
I got some Xbox Live time.
Good.
I got Dishonored and Red Dead Redemption for a total of $20 for both.
Very good deal.
It was buy one, get one. They were $20.
Yeah.
And so $10 a piece. I thought, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Shelby had bought an Xbox One, the Assassin's Creed edition, which will bring me to my next story.
Okay.
She's like, I don't want to play these games. They look hard. I'm like, because they are ridiculously hard. And she goes, here, you just want, because I'm buying her PlayStation 3.
Okay.
And she goes, you just want to include this in the bill? And I'm like, sure. So I'm buying a PS3 with a couple games, and then these two Xbox One games for $200. I'm like, that's a good deal.
That's not too bad.
No. And so I was like, the box seemed a little funky to begin with. So I opened it up, and I'm like, I don't know if these cards are good because somebody could, buy it redeem, because all it is nowadays is you just have redemption cards. You don't have discs anymore.
Yeah.
They're redemption cards.
You just
I'm
download
like,
them online.
the only problem with this is I'm gonna have to go up north and to put them in. And she goes, no, you can go to Xbox.com. I'm like, how does she know more about this than me already?
And she's not wrong. You can
No,
go
and
to
I
Xbox.com.
absolutely, it did great. I just wish I had my Xbox plugged in where I could download it overnight. But since then, I came up and I downloaded the games, and so far I'm absolutely loving Assassin's Creed 4.
Assassin's Creed 4, very good.
It's so good.
So good.
Graphics and the mechanics sometimes piss me off, but that's with any Assassin's Creed game. Like the mechanics, like the jump and free run, like sometimes it gets really wonky.
It
always has been.
It can be a bit nitpicky where
I swear, go follow that guy. Just climb up the wall and go say, no, don't jump backward. Oh, I'm caught. Oh, desynchronized. Are you fucking with me?
Like he just gets caught by like a small wall. And he's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Come on, you bitch. And by that time, you're out of the eavesdrop range and desynchronized.
That is the biggest problem with 4 is the number of like tailing and eavesdrop missions in that game is unbelievable.
But I absolutely love the whole pirating part.
Pirates are fun.
That was in the shanties.
Fact.
That I even texted you about that, didn't I? I was like, we need more shanties in Mach7.
We should come up with a shanty and make that the intro to the podcast.
Oh, we should. Because that was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, those are so good.
I'm still finding them. I mean, I'm only like 30% through, but because it's a massive game.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I basically, to the point I'm at, I just got the diving bell. But that's because I've been doing a lot of the fishing and a lot of stuff, because I'm one of those people that I want all my upgrades up ahead of time.
Yeah.
I don't like to do the story progressing. I'm like, okay, I see here's all the stuff I have to go kill to go get all my upgrades.
Right.
Go do that right now. If that includes I have to infiltrate all these higher ships, I'll try it.
Yeah. I'm able to upgrade all this stuff, so I might as well do that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's the other thing, though. I wasn't always able to upgrade everything, which really pissed me off. Like, why do I have to play halfway through the game to unlock the game?
Because that's how Assassin's Creed works.
I hate that!
50% of the game are tutorials, so where they teach you all the mechanics of all the stuff.
But it's so fun to like play with Blackbeard and everything like that. It's really fun and it's gorgeous. But
so you got the one version of
Black
Flag. Okay.
Yes. You have the 360?
Yeah, I have the 360.
You know what's really cool? I did not know this until I started, looking it up. Well, I mean, I don't know when I even heard it. But you can connect to your iPad, and I have.
There's a companion app,
and it's awesome.
It's pretty good.
Because between classes, I can go and I can do my ships, back and forth, and all that kind of stuff, and it's awesome. That's really cool. I think more games need to do that.
Well, they need to do it properly.
Well, I feel that they do it.
Yeah.
They do it very well.
I think 4's was good. Unity has one as well.
I downloaded it.
Not nearly
it has
as
2
good.
stars, where 5 stars for Black
It's
Flag.
not really.
I haven't opened it yet because I played. So I got really pissed at one point. You know the part where you're trying to infiltrate the assassin base?
Yes.
That took me forever.
Yeah. It took me a while the first time I did it too.
So I got pissed off after I got halfway through. I got up through the beach and I got to that little canyon, and then from that point on, to get up past the gunman and everything.
Yeah.
I just have so I okay, fuck it. I'll go try Unity. Fuck Unity. Fuck it. I hate that there's a run down and a run up now.
Really? It's so much better than what it used to have, yeah. Otherwise, you just drop to your death. You have no other choices.
You're right there, but I don't like how I have to, while I'm quick running somewhere, I have to quick hit, I don't know if I want to hit B or A or whatever it is. It's hard for me to do that right away. Plus, the areas you have to go to are so ambiguous. You have to try to find an entrance into this church, and I'm climbing all over this fucking place. Where do I got to go?
Getting into Notre Dame. It's ridiculous.
It was just right there in the front. It was on the second level. Here I am climbing on top.
Yeah.
I'm running all around. I'm like, what the fuck? And so finally I'm like, okay, well, there's a second level here. That's obviously not going to be on there. That's the part where you just run around. Maybe there's a treasure chest or something.
Probably.
No, the entrance is right there.
Oh, well.
You bitch.
The one thing I really don't like about Unity is,
the refresh rate?
There's that.
Graphics are great.
Frame rate is just...
it looks great, though. I mean, the game itself, resolution-wise, gorgeous.
So good. Okay, two things I don't like about Unity. One of the biggest things they're pushing is all the interiors that they have.
What do you mean?
Just like you can go inside almost all the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like most of the interiors look pretty similar, but it's kind of cool that they added that.
Well, they're able to do that with the next gen consoles.
But you can't like open doors or windows to get inside of places. You have to find openings to get in. And it's like that's so obnoxious. The other thing is unlocking a lot of the gear and equipment is like ridiculous because a lot of it's co-op stuff or like using the companion app and stuff like that. It's just like I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to unlock all of the best equipment. Why don't you let me, Unity? Why?
Here's my next question.
Okay.
What do you think would be a good setting for Assassin's Creed for the next one?
There are rumors that there's going to be one in Victoria, London, which I actually kind of like.
That's basically Paris, though.
Nah, don't be ridiculous.
It's
England.
Similar.
And everyone will be speaking in French accents instead of British like they do in Paris, obviously.
Oh, you're right. I never noticed that. Holy shit.
Right?
Mind blown.
That's one of the first things I picked up on. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Why does nobody have any French accents? I don't care if they speak English, but...
And then they go speak French very fluently.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what?
Because everybody in the olden times had a British accent.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know. I think Victoria, London would be cool, but feudal Japan would be one I really like to see too.
Yeah, that's one on the table.
I don't think, but like the free running aspect in that probably wouldn't be quite as like interesting because they don't have as like dense of cities. You have some palaces.
It'd be more
cool,
like Assassin's Creed 4, where it's a lot of jungle.
Yeah.
Which they did very well with.
Yeah.
I want to counter that.
Okay.
Wild Wild West.
Would also be cool.
That would be fucking awesome.
And as you play through 4, they actually spoil some of like settings that they considered for the games, and Wild West is one of them. So you might get that eventually.
And that's what I read, because I wanted to go on there. I was like, I wonder if anybody's done any fan art. But because like, if you think about it, that's just like Pirates of the Land. There's outlaws.
Pretty much.
I mean, you go and you're robbing, convoys. You're robbing trains.
Right.
You're robbing whatever, or there's all these different places you could go to, and it'd be so awesome.
Yeah. No, it'd be really cool.
Like hideouts and that kind of stuff. It'd be perfect. It'd be so synonymous for the exploring.
Yeah.
But I hope it's not Egypt, like they're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
Egypt was another one. Yeah.
No, that's like one of the biggest ones,
Yeah.
like the ones people are guessing about. That would suck.
Yeah.
Do you really want to run around the desert?
No. I mean, there'd be desert-like areas if you were in the Wild West.
Oh no, absolutely. In between, but at least not all the West. I mean, you have mountains too.
That's true.
You do have some nice, very green ranch stuff.
Now I'm gonna start playing Red Dead again.
I just bought it.
Dude,
We're
you're so ready.
dishonored.
It's basically Assassin's Creed in the Wild West,
Except
with less
no
assassinating.
parkour.
Well, that's not entirely true.
You parkour with
I
a
mean,
guy?
you can climb up on stuff.
Well, yeah, but it's more brutish white guy, not
It is.
assassin.
It's true. It's not the most
It's not-
smooth climbing you've ever
It's,
seen.
it's very much Nordic.
Yeah, I could agree with that. No, Red Dead's a good game.
I
enjoy
haven't
that.
played it yet. It's still waiting in its great case because I have these other ones that were for the one, and I'm like, gotta have it.
Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah.
When you saw it, like,
Oh yeah,
gotta have it.
I did. I also bought a soundbar,
Oh yeah.
and I'm in a little bit of a conundrum.
Okay. Have
I
you
don't
tried
know.
turning it off now and again?
What was I watching?
Is
that
it
somebody
definitely
said that?
plugged in?
What was I watching that somebody said that?
The IT crowd.
No,
Oh.
it was on
That's where I get it from, the IT crowd.
it was like at one of the points you can walk around in an Abstergo.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear that guy say, like, he makes a reference to that? He's like, finally I got a hold of IT, and they finally said something besides, did you try turning it off and on
Really?
again? And I'm like, oh, Andrew!
I don't think I've heard that before.
Oh,
I just didn't pay enough attention.
we need to do that. Freeman's Mind.
Absolutely, we should. You know what I was thinking about?
What?
When you first meet John, the IT guy, and he's like,
Oh, yeah,
and
John.
he's under your desk,
Yeah.
and the chick says something like, he's just fixing something or along those lines, and he says, Not fixing, calibrating.
Yeah.
If we make that show, I want to make a Mass Effect joke so bad. Because Garrett says, "Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations."
Oh, all the time.
I want the character to say, "Well, can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of needing to use my computer, like right now."
And there's like all these hot girls in the lobby that you like can go stand in front of, and they kind of like look up at you and then look right back down. And I'm like, this is great material so right weird. Here. So
that would be fun. We could easily do that.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so easy to do it. You just have to do video capture and then just put Audacity over it.
Yeah.
So that'll be something we're gonna do.
And I was thinking about we would need to like play through the scenes probably a couple times so that we could get what we needed. And I was like, doing the late game stuff, that would kind of suck because you'd have to play through the entire game multiple times. We could probably find that stuff on YouTube, right? And then just watch it and then decide how we want the character to behave so that it fits with what we would want it to say.
Or you can just quickly advance through just the missions. I mean, you can do just the missions instead of having to...
But you kind of need to upgrade your ship to...
Yeah, I guess you do.
Get through some of the later missions.
Yeah, those freaking forts, man.
Yeah, they will obliterate you.
They are so hard because I wanted to find freaking humpback whales.
Yeah, as you do.
And it was so hard. So finally, I just looked up where they were online and just went and I found white whales.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I felt like Moby Dick.
White whales are
hard to find.
They have a lot of health.
It's hard to find them.
Yeah, because they spawn randomly when you're connected to the internet.
What else did I... Oh, yeah, I got a soundbar, but I don't know how to hook it up.
Just plug it in.
There's no HDMI
Plug
port.
it in.
But, like, how do I separate... Okay, so if I have it hooked up, my Xbox, to the TV through an HDMI cord,
okay,
is there a separate audio out that I can select? Because I'm thinking about just using an optical cable between the sound bar and the TV because that's like the best I can get because it doesn't have an HDMI cable input.
Right.
So it's dummy. But I got it for half price, so that just counts.
There you go. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I'm not big on the sound technology.
That's just simple plugging in stuff to...
Well, obviously it isn't if you don't know.
Well, maybe there's something on the TV that I can choose audio out. I don't know.
Maybe there's something on the Xbox you can choose audio out. That'd be more likely.
True.
Because the Xbox would
I have to hook it up right to the Xbox then? And I doubt the Xbox has an optical in.
Probably not. I don't know. That's a mystery.
It's a quandary.
It is quite the conundrum. You were correct.
Quite the quagmire.
Yeah. Shout out to quagmires.
You try not to laugh the whole time. It's like quagmire. So you been playing any games lately?
Yes. I have been playing the ever-loving crap out of Dragon Age Inquisition.
Are you enjoying it?
It is quite a good game.
I should get it then, is that what you're telling me?
I mean, yes, but...
I've never played any of the other ones.
Yeah, and you don't really need to.
Good.
I mean, a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the lore and stuff is explained in this game, so you wouldn't have any trouble there. The only reason you would want to play the other games is you get to know the other characters better, because a lot of them come back.
Oh, so it's like Mass Effect.
Yeah. But since you can use Dragon Age Keep, you can just make all the choices so that not everybody is dead in your world state, which is helpful. But yeah, if you like Knights of the Old Republic, I think you would enjoy Dragon Age.
Because, it's funny that you brought that up. Since the Xbox One came out, the Xbox 360 games are like dirt cheap.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for my Christmas list, I have like 30 games. And I think like it comes up to like $60.
Nice.
Because you just go like half.com.
Yeah.
And like I have like Dragon Age 2, I think was on it. Because I heard Origins was awful.
No, Origins is better than 2.
Oh.
2 is awful.
Oh no.
2, I had fun playing 2. I still enjoy it, but it is not a good game.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll put Origins on there.
I would put... See, the thing is like, Origins' story and the characters are much better, but the gameplay is a little bit lackluster just because the animations aren't really all that interesting to, like, watch. And there's a lot of just watching, characters attack people and stuff like that. In 2, the animations and the action is much better, but the story is a lot smaller, a lot more condensed, and the characters are all crazy. So it's like, and since they reuse maps, like all the dungeons are the exact same map, just sometimes you'll run it backwards or something, which comes as a result that they had about 11 months to make this game.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because EA sucks.
That's right.
I think it was something like that. Because Dragon Age 2 came out in March of 2011. Dragon Age Origins came out like late 2009. And it had a pretty long DLC tail. Because there were like 9 different campaign DLCs for that game. So
that's no excuse. Do you know how many people made Skyrim's dungeons?
Like 2?
2.
Oh, wow. Guessed right. They also had 5 years to make that game.
Well, they didn't work on the dungeons until like late. I think they did all the dungeons in like 18 months.
Oh, well. Okay. I don't know. But EA sucks is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I totally agree.
But
Battlefield 4. Which I love the game, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I like Origins better than 2, but that's just me.
I also put like Fallout. I've never played Fallout. I've never seen it played. I have no idea what it is. I put that on there, but it was Game of the Year.
And it's basically Skyrim and an apocalypse.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. I personally, I don't enjoy that game.
No?
I just don't think the setting's that interesting. Like, I like the fantasy setting more than the
I totally
future
agree.
apocalypse setting. So.
I agree. But I mean, I'm playing all these games that I've been just raving about.
Yeah.
But I can never afford all of them. But now that they're $4, $5, $6, $8,
right.
Oh yeah,
Easy.
I can go ahead and afford a few of those.
Yeah.
And so like 2015 is gonna be a year of gaming of epic proportions for me.
I like it.
I'm so excited. My Xbox 360 is gonna get such a workout.
Nice.
It's had nice breather since I got the Xbox
yeah.
One this summer, and now it's just gonna be run hard in the pink. It's gonna be pretty raw by the time I'm done with it when 2016 comes around.
Nice. That was an interesting metaphor, but okay.
I mean, I already have 2 games for it. No, yeah, 2. Yeah, 2. I got the Dishonored and Red Dead, and then I put a few of those on my wish list. And I'm pretty sure my mom said, between everybody, because I make a list every year because they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "You don't know." So I go on to Amazon and they show me some of the Black Friday deals.
Just like give them the direct links to what you want. That's the best way to do it.
That's what I do. Actually, I go and I hyperlink in an email.
Yeah.
And then instead of just putting like a bunch of scribbled URLs, I just like change it to be like
the game title or whatever.
Yeah. Like Travel Shaver or something like that, and then they just click on it and it just pulls up the Amazon link. And so I have like 6 games, 7 games, plus a bunch of other stuff like different shavers, because like I want one every year because I do electric shavers. Yeah, I'm scared of the other kind. I cut myself.
Me too. Exactly the same way.
I cut myself one time, like right here, and I just bled so much. I'm like,
I
didn't
even do that. I saw my dad cut himself before, and I'm like, I'll just do an electric shaver. That's fine. I don't need to know how to do the manual one. I don't need any of that. Yeah, I'll just use the electric one. That's fine.
And then I see guys who just like use that one blade razor. Yeah. I'm like,
it's like,
you're just using an axe blade basically, just shaving your face with that. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So I have like a couple different shavers. Plus I want a travel shaver. I'm sick of my bag being extra full because I'm bringing my regular one with this charger, and it's like the size of a loaf of bread.
Right. Shadows of bread.
So
do you ever like see a guy in the hallway and just pet his loaf of bread because he thought it was a dog?
No.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
What the hell is that from?
So what other games do you have on there? Just out of curiosity.
I'm really curious about the whole loaf of bread equals
it was
dog.
It was a story on Reddit that happened.
Okay. Well, BioShock Infinite.
Good game.
Halo 3 ODST, just because I want to complete my collection. That's the only Halo game I don't have.
Nice.
And that's the only one I haven't put the effort into buying because it's so damn repetitive.
Not wrong. Totally true.
It's basically Halo 3 over and over and over again. Like
but
each map.
With Firefly voice actors, obviously.
Plus, I do like the whole pistol and everything like that. I just hate spending 3 clips on a damn brute.
Yeah,
and they throw 6 of them at me. I'm like, you guys are bitches. Which I don't really think is that much of a difference between a Spartan and ODST when it comes to killing. I mean, like, how come my bullets don't do as much damage as when they're in the Master
right.
Chief's?
It doesn't make any sense.
How come I have to put 3 clips into him, but with the Master Chief as the SMG in his hand, all of a sudden I have stopping power?
It's not like he has some sort of superpower that like accelerates the bullets to make them go faster.
I can't believe nobody's ever brought that up.
I know, right? Well, you just brought it up right now.
Have you thought about it before?
No, because I don't think I ever even played ODST, so I never noticed it.
Now it's gonna bug you. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna write a letter to Microsoft.
Yeah.
And 343.
Thanks for letting us know 6 years after the game is done. Fantastic, timely response.
Well, I had a lot of games to play. All right. Had to get around to it.
What else? Oh, Force Unleashed. I never played those.
Oh yeah.
I heard that was a fantastic game.
It's okay. It's a lot of fun to play, but the story is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Like throwing stormtroopers around a room is probably the most fun I've ever had in a video game.
Really?
It's so great.
See, and I want that. I want that experience where you just have like that unseen amount of force power.
Yeah.
Like in all the Star Wars movies, because they've been limited on their computer graphics in the first 3, there was a whole rule where there's only 1 jet, 2 technically, force-powered people, 3, 4. Well, include Leia, 5 force-empowered people. Well, and Yoda 6. Okay, so a handful of force-powered people.
As compared to the earlier movies where there were like 2,000 Jedi.
Yeah. And that they could actually like push droids down. I mean, they couldn't do that in the first movies because their computer graphics weren't there.
Right.
So it's actually be really cool to be able to see just pulling down a freaking spaceship with the Force.
No, it's pretty fantastic.
That's awesome. That's
a fun
orgasmic to me. So I think that's about it for all the games I have on there.
Nice.
Just because
Good list.
my parents will not buy video games for me.
Why not?
They don't
Video games are
believe in video games. They feel it's a waste of time.
That's silly.
Like it's a distraction from schoolwork and everything.
No, it's like, relaxing.
And they said, if you want it, you will buy it. And I'm like, okay. But now that the games are cheap and I'm living on my own and I'm about to graduate, I think their mind is changing. Plus, I really don't know what else I want.
Yeah, right.
Like, honestly, just
new computer.
Buy me video games.
Yeah,
buy me video games. I'll be happy with it.
Just give you money and you can buy video games yourself.
Yeah, too. I'll do either one. Yeah. But I mean, like, I will tell you to give me the, because they want to wrap something and give it to me that way.
That's so much
I'm
work.
like, just wrap each dollar bill separately.
There you go.
But they want to do it that way. And if you want to buy me video games, that's fine. That's the key to my heart.
Yeah.
I don't need you to buy me anything else. I buy anything that I really want by myself.
Right.
Like, I just give it the shaver a novelty because my parents bought one, my first one, and they like to do it every year, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
It's a weird tradition.
Hey, you know what? It's a free shaver every year.
I mean, it works, just, kind of bizarre.
Oh, another thing I put on there, a wired controller so I can actually play games on my computer.
There you go. Good call.
Like, really old games.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, have you tried downloading Arena, or
no?
Are you ever going to?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, what the hell?
It doesn't really. I don't really like older games that much.
I don't either.
I
did buy Morrowind for the Xbox 360. I mean, the original Xbox.
Yup. Now we run into the problems with the Xbox One naming.
The Xbox titles are just stupid. They make no sense.
No, because the 360, you look at it and then you do a 360 and you walk away.
That's 180.
I know. That's the joke.
Oh,
that people on the internet were saying that, like PS3 fanboys who didn't like the Xbox, and people pointed out, like, if you do a 360, you're actually still facing the console. Anyway,
more people make that reference all the time, and it pisses me off.
I know.
When they say, "Just do a 360 and walk out that door," boy. I'm like, yeah. So I just walk a quick spin around. I'm like, there you go.
People are dumb.
People are dumb. Oh, I have big news.
Oh, yeah?
As far as professionally.
Okay.
I had my senior defense yesterday.
What does that mean?
So for my department.
Like a lawyer or?
For my department.
Karate?
Well, I have two. I have two big presentations my senior year.
Okay.
And they're all based around a research project. This semester, it's creating a research proposal for doing a project that's original research in my department to do. I created it all by myself with a mentor.
Well, I did it, Mom. Are you proud of me?
Yeah. Well, so mine. And so what you have to do is you have to go, and the whole department is invited, plus anybody that wants to come.
Okay.
So
Can I come?
Yeah, you know, you can come.
Do you
I
want me to
already
hang
did
out?
it.
Oh, well.
I did it
Boy,
yesterday.
that's embarrassing.
I did it
My
yesterday.
face is so red right now.
I just said I had big news yesterday.
Oh. I wasn't listening, so it's fine.
Oh, good, Chris. So I had my big defense because they have the whole department come and they critique you
Oh, good.
and everything. Well, I went and presented, and they ate it like candy.
Nice.
I love, because mine's basically exploring the cultures between academic affairs, being faculty members, professors, and then administrative, being like directors of department, financial aid, executive staff, that type of stuff.
Seems good.
And it's trying to see how each group defines their role on campus and how they define the role of the other and how that affects how they complete their roles.
Right.
And because previous research has found that there's a huge rift between the two groups, because they're competing over money and all
Makes
that kind of
sense,
stuff. Yeah. And so I want to see if this happens here. And of course, the faculty who I was presenting to, they have big, huge criticisms.
Obviously.
So, not bad things.
No.
No.
It was pretty much all constructive.
It was all
helpful.
constructive criticism that they had about the other side, but they ate it like candy. They absolutely loved it, and it was so good. And I met with my mentor today because he couldn't make it. He's like, "This is a really good project. It's gonna be really good." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a big boy now."
Nice.
And so now I'm like, "Oh shit, I have to actually conduct all this stuff I was going to be doing." So that's what my next semester is going to be. But luckily, I only have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's nice.
Oh my gosh, is it? And they line up right one after another.
Be so perfect.
And one of them is like lighting for stages.
Okay.
Lighting
Interesting class.
Lighting and technology. So it's like you whoop, with that sound.
Right, yeah. No, it's all about that slide whistle. You should bring one to that class and just play it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna go to the USG thing tonight?
There's a USG thing tonight?
They're handing out hats for the first few people. Like for first 50 people.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's why I have to record this podcast early.
Right.
We should get back on topic.
We have a topic?
Yeah, the podcast.
Oh. Yeah.
Still haven't heard anything in the wall. It's so quiet and it doesn't smell.
Oh, that wall. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess he just left.
You must have just found a way out.
I wonder what it was.
I honestly do not know.
What a troll.
I know,
He's
dude.
going to come bang on your wall for a little while and then leave.
What if I did go crazy for a little bit there?
I think you might have.
No,
I think you might have.
No, there was definitely an animal in there.
What if it was like an alien?
Then why did it have to go in the wall? Why couldn't it just come out? I would
Because maybe it doesn't know what buildings
definitely
are.
make tacos with it, man.
It's like,
That's the introductory food to Earth.
what is this place? Why am I surrounded on all four sides very close to me? I don't understand.
What, did you just beam in or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my gosh, that'd be terrifying. Reminds me of Freeman's Mind.
Yeah. Dude, that Freeman's Mind is almost done.
Oh, I haven't watched it since like episode 58.
It's up to 62 now, but he's on the last big area of the game, so.
Has he discussed what he's going to do next?
No, he hasn't talked about it at all.
Because he keeps talking like, I'm still thinking about it, I'm still thinking about it, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know what that means. Did you watch the one his girlfriend made?
Yeah. I think I watched the beginning of it.
It was so bad.
I don't think I watched it for very long.
Number one, the audio sucked.
Yeah.
Number two, she had a very nasal voice. You could just
Sounded just like her.
just kept hearing all this nasal in the back of her throat. And then, just her commentary was awful. It was not fluid at all.
If we make one, we'll make it great. I promise. Guys, you should watch it.
They'll watch it.
Yeah. I mean, will they, though?
They've been sticking to this podcast for how long?
That's a good point.
They'll watch it. Which, have we reached 300? How many views does our first video have?
I have no idea.
Can I check real quick?
I will check. Do a little checkaroony. Vamp.
So,
Oh, I have a Facebook message. Hold on. This takes precedence.
what does it say? Hi?
No.
It says okay smiley face?
It says Jeff and then a cry face. We're talking about going to dinner tonight.
Oh.
Because one of my friends is a RA at Hillside.
Yeah. Oh, the one who had the Pokemon tournament?
Yeah, and he figured out how many swipes to the dining hall he has left, and he's like, I have this many or something, so we're all gonna have this big group dinner.
Oh, fun.
I think I'm actually missing it because I have this in the meeting, but unless they aren't going tonight, I don't know. I don't know what the plans are. Nobody tells me anything. They're just like, hey, we're gonna have dinner, and then
I'm kind of a little upset.
Yeah?
You know how many times I've invited you to stuff, and how many no's I've gotten from you? And all of a sudden, now you're going to go to these community dinners, you're going to this Pokemon tournament and everything.
To be fair, I didn't plan that. I just drove the people who needed to go to it. You know how you always say you want to help me out? I have something you can help me out with.
Offer's gone.
Right.
What do you need help with?
That's fair. So I'm flying to Louisiana the Thursday of finals week, and I need someone to drive me to the airport.
Oh, but that's all the way out there.
It is pretty far.
I'll consider it.
I was gonna have one of my roommates do it, but then he freaked out at me for never
No.
letting me help.
No. Ask your roommates first.
I mean, I already asked you, so
No. Ask your roommates first.
It can't really be first if it's already
first.
If it's already you.
Andrew.
I asked you.
Andrew.
For, all right.
If they can't drive you, then you can ask me again.
All right.
No, sorry, I didn't say.
Just how I always do things, and you get mad at me.
No.
By the way, this is number 22. Fun fact. It's not 23. All right, that does not show the view numbers. Excellent. Went to the playlists. Silly me. Dude, number 1 is at 156.
We got another 5 in the past week?
I guess.
Excellent.
Is that how many it was?
Well, actually, click on it because sometimes the views numbers aren't.
Sometimes it's wrong.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Yeah, it says 156.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I'll click on one that says like 1 view. And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
When are we going to start actually putting content on our channel? Because we haven't for a year.
On the page it says it has like 15. Whenever people start making stuff.
ESO was the last thing we put out. Well, no, some Backseat Gamer. Was it?
No.
No, it was ESO.
That was just me and Stuart.
Stuart and I.
Yeah, you're right. I made a mistake. I apologize.
I think the new logo looks so much better.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Well, I meant like the whole podcast look. Looks awesome. The other one looks like...
I bet we have over 300 views.
On what?
Total.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count.
Well,
You really want to do a live podcast.
So much.
Maybe when we get back.
We just don't have a good setup
How about
for
this? The very first podcast we have when we get back from Christmas break.
Okay.
We'll do a live podcast.
Do video? I'll allow it. Good plan. Look forward to that.
That was a very good idea.
That was pretty decent.
Did it pick it up?
I looked at the elbow. I don't know, probably. I would have, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That picked it up.
Picked it up pretty good.
So, you want to hear another funny story?
I would love to. I love funny stories. That's so funny.
So, I have a friend from back in high school, and she has a cousin.
Is it a friend or is it a friend?
No, I have a very good friend.
Okay.
She's about to get engaged. But she has a cousin who is very attractive.
Okay. Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm saying the girl's attractive. That's not saying I'm interested in her at all. So my friend's been wanting us to hang out like really bad, and so like every time I've been down, I've been kind of like, I can't hang out this time.
Right.
Because I don't know if that's appropriate.
I'm sure it's fine.
And so finally, I'm like, well, how about next time? How about next time? How about next time? Well, and finally that starts to catch up. And she goes, "You're hanging out with us over Thanksgiving break."
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, well, how about I bring my buddy along?
Good plan.
That way, it's fair.
Yeah.
So him and I go to B-Dubs first, and he doesn't know we're going to go afterward. So he shows up, he's all unshaven, his hair's all messed up and everything like that. I'm like, hey, you want to go get drinks later with my friend and her cousin? He goes, that means I have to go shower, doesn't it? I'm like, how about you go take an hour?
Why did you... God dang it.
How about you go take an hour and go get ready? And then after, this is after we went to B-Dubs.
Why would he not shower before you go to B-Dubs?
I don't know. Like, I
weird.
showered and everything.
Yeah.
I was like,
as you should, as
yes.
a respectable human being.
Yes, when you're going out to go to even B-Dubs.
If I ever go outside, I shower.
Yeah, me too.
Like, ugh.
Wait, some days going to class, like I went really early class at 9 a.m. And some days I wake up a little bit later than I should. I'm like,
tisk tisk.
it's ball cap time.
There you go.
Boom, out the door. Not even put on pants.
I wouldn't. I mean, what's the point?
As long as
Dude,
the boxers
pants-
have that button right there to protect you, you're good.
Pants are so restricted.
They are. Home is where the pants are.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Weird tangent.
So, we go, and things went very well between him and the other girl.
Oh yeah.
They-
Interesting.
It started with, drinks, and then we went for drives, and soon I started to drive, and my friend was in the passenger seat. And the back two went quiet.
Oh.
Very quiet.
Well, I know where this is going.
They were making sure each other has enough oxygen.
Right. As you do.
So, things went really well for him.
Oh,
And
good.
He can't pick up a girl to save his life. So I felt really good.
Nice.
I felt really good.
You're
I was
like the best kind of person.
I helped a bro out.
Yeah.
And he's like one of my best friends. And so I felt really good. And he got her number.
Oh, good. I
And
would hope so.
And he was trashed. I was the DD. He was trashed. Even though I was the one that just got back into town.
Yeah. Well,
I was DD.
that's how it goes sometimes.
I'm the visiting person. I'm the guest to the city, and I'm the one who's a DD for it. So he's trash, and I get him back, and he's like, "Do I text her now or do I text her in the morning?" I was like, "If you text her now, then you have to let me type it." And he's like, "That's good because I can't see the letters." So okay, so
Pretty good response.
he passes me the phone, and I type up something cute, whatever. Hey, I'm home. I had a really great time with you. I want to see. I hope we can hang out again. And so I was like, "How's that sound?" He's like, he was looking at it all sideways and everything. He's like, "That's good enough." He hits send. I'm like, "Okay."
Jesus.
And so he's like, "You're the best guy ever." How people are when they're drunk. And he leaves. And he leaves the vehicle. And by the time I got home, I got a text. He goes, "She's responded," everything like that. So I think things are going excellent because I went and hung out the next night.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm leaving. That was Saturday night. And then I left Sunday morning. And so I think everything's all hunky-dory, right?
Oh, God, is this story going to take a dark turn? Can we just end it there when it's happy?
It does take a very dark turn. So Monday rolls around, and I'm thinking, things are still going well between them. And he goes, "Dude, I fucked up."
Oh,
I'm
God.
like, "What did you do? Did you call her the wrong name or something like that?" And he's like, "Here, just read this." Well, supposedly, some context to what happened beforehand. On Sunday, he started drinking again, watching sports with his friends.
Okay.
And do as you do as drunk guys do, he started texting the first pretty girl on
Sure.
his phone, which was her. Like, "Hey, we should hang out and everything like that." Well, supposedly they made plans while he was drunk on meeting
God.
somewhere.
Never a good idea.
So she got all dressed up, and she's a cosmetology professional and everything, so she got all dressed up and everything like that. And went to the place that they were supposed to meet.
Oh, boy.
Him, on the other hand, he was halfway blacked out.
Oh, perfect. Jesus.
And so he stood her up, and so the next day, he found out about it, and, he apologized and told her what had actually happened, that he instead got drunk with his buddies and everything like that. And she goes, "This is a pattern I don't need. It was nice to meet you. I really appreciate it." And he's like, I know you're upset. I'm really sorry." Never texted her back, and never texted him back.
Wow.
So
She just put her foot down. She's not having any of that
and
nonsense.
they just met him. Like, really? Just because the guy, okay, it's pretty valid because he didn't, he said yup. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But he never meant to do it in the first place. Like, if you didn't plan on actually making the plans until you got drunk, does that really count?
I think it does still count, actually. Pretty sure those plans still exist.
Well, I know, but I guess next time he's gonna have to have his phone locked because,
Yeah. Or you should just not drink.
that too.
My life is great.
He should do the end. Yeah,
Nobody
you
ever does
sit-
that for me, but
You sit at home alone and play video games.
So fantastic.
But
My sad noise.
And the thing is,
Sounds just like all my other noises.
the whole time I was driving home Sunday, as he was drinking, I'm like, you have to be really, be careful with this one. Be really nice. Don't be a dick. Because he has a tendency to be really cocky when it comes to girls. Like, I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
Even though he doesn't know how to pick them up.
And that's exactly why, because he's a cocky dick.
Makes sense.
I'm like, cut that shit out, because I know he's a really nice guy, but he doesn't know how to act around him, so
Right.
he tries to act like the biggest cock on the rock, and so, meaning chicken.
Right. Do chickens go on rocks very often?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Excuse me, roosters
Well,
tend to.
male chickens, roosters.
Just like...
No, it's not the same. Not the same
it's
at all.
so the same. I can't believe we're still on that after the whole
We'll be on that for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then maybe I'll let it go.
So, I feel like I've dominated this whole podcast.
That's fine. See, here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like a play-by-play caller, and I'm like the color commentator. That's how it works. You tell all the good stories, and then I bring the humor.
24/7?
24/7. Because I'm not good at telling stories. My stories suck.
Mine do too, but they're just funny.
You tell them well, though. That's the point.
Well, yeah. That poor little bastard.
That guy sucks.
And she was...
Ladies, I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah. Andrew wouldn't know what to do with you.
Yeah, it's true. No, I'm sorry, wrong number.
You're pretty.
It's weird because that happened to me before.
Is it really?
No.
So that would have been a good story.
So here's something kind of interesting that's kind of similar. I've actually been meaning to ask on the podcast for like a couple months now, and I just never really got around to it.
Are there any other girls interested in little Andrew Levin?
Yeah. Please call me at 555.
He's accepting applications right now.
Yeah. Got to get the best. So I have a really good friend from high school who is...
You had friends from high school?
I do. I mean, it's really just the one. I had a couple. I don't talk to any of them anymore, though. So I have this good friend from high school who is getting married in the summer.
Boy or girl?
Girl. So, like a month ago or however long ago, she invited me to her wedding. It was like, this is the dates that we're having. It'd be great if you could come, whatever. I'm like, sure. I probably won't be doing anything. Considering that she and I dated at one point for...
Oh, boy. This story is...
For...
There's a lot of parts. You didn't put that piece of context in there.
For a short amount of time. It was seriously like 2 months.
Okay.
It was nothing.
I can understand Andrew having a short relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Considering that, is it weird if I go to that wedding?
No.
Because she has told me that the guy she's marrying is a little bit apprehensive of the two of us hanging out just because we had that history. It's not weird for me if I go. It's obviously not weird for her if I go because...
Do you still have feelings for this chick?
No.
Does she have feelings for you? Does she ever express
no
feelings? Yeah. Who cares?
But is it weird for him if I go?
Obviously it feels weird for him. I mean, were you her only other boyfriend?
No.
How good of friends were you after you guys dated?
About the same as we were before.
Is that extremely good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Then yeah.
Okay.
It's just not weird at all.
Yeah, just, I don't know how to handle these social situations, so
Hand the guy
thought I'd ask someone else.
What you need to do is you need to go talk to the guy, like afterwards, just be like, hey, congratulations,
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you guys. Just that's how you start it off. Because that way for the rest of the reception, he's going to be happy, hunky-dory, and whatever. Just make sure that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be that's how I do it.
Yeah.
And that, that's how Travis does. It's just
If that's how Travis do, that's how I want to do
that's
it.
how the king does it.
Yeah. King, huh? Interesting.
Bobby King.
Goddamn Bobby King. Why? King of the internet.
Well, what are we looking at?
We should wrap this up.
Oh my
'cause
gosh.
It's almost meeting time.
Yes. Well.
So, thank you for listening to this Mach7 podcast. We enjoyed having you here. And
Unfortunately, it's not late night podcast.
it's not.
We were gonna do a late night cast, but then Andrew's like, it's past my bedtime.
It is.
And it's,
Dude, 10 o'clock, I'm in bed for 3 hours at that point.
Yeah, because you're playing video games.
Yeah.
For the rest of the time.
Pretty much.
But I was so hoping to do a late night cast.
We can do one some other time.
Nah, we're not going to. It's past your bedtime. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep
All right.
piloting,
So,
piloting us out of here.
stick-tuned nice words there. Dude, English is hard.
It's so hard. I should speak French.
You should, with a British accent.
With a British accent.
Stick tuned next week, and we will have another episode.
Bye.
Bye.